And you told us that during these occasions, you obviously had your own experience, but you heard from some other people that it was for sex.
Yes, I did.
Do you recall any particular example of someone telling you what happened to them when they were called individually by President Jammeh to enter the room?
Yes, I do. For example, one of the victims who spoke to me, she told me that the former president abused her sexually. She told me that Jimbee took her there and that the president punched her. And after, like, when she refused to sleep with the president, he told her that she must have sex with him.
You mentioned a Jimbee. Can you tell us her last name?
Jimbee Jammeh.
Can you tell us who she is or who she was at the time?
I think she was a nephew from the president, the former president.
A nephew or a niece?
My niece, sorry.
Yes.
She was the president's niece, yeah.
And what was her role at the time?
She was a protocol officer, but I call her a pimp.
Why do you call her that?
Yeah, because most of the time, to what I witnessed, she was the one taking girls to the former president. And for her, that was very normal. And with her, if it was successful with the president, she becomes more close to you and very friendly. Like her mood depended on what the president was doing. When the president was happy with you, she was happy. When the president was not, she was not.
Was there any kind of phrase or any kind of cover that was used in order to get women to go to the president for sex? Was there something that was generally used or said, let's go and do X, to capture this particular phenomenon or to describe this experience?
Well, mostly Jimbee will say, person, let's go for massage. That is also different from when we all had to go and sit at the veranda. There, she just calls the individual and goes inside with the individual. But in other cases, when she had to go with one person, she says, let's go for massage.
And how did you understand let's go for massage?
Well, mostly when she goes, with my experience, and for those that spoke to me, it was to go for sex. It's possible some were just there to massage, which I cannot attest to, but to those that I know, it was for sex.
Can you tell us whether, while you were present with this individual, whether at any point she was called to go to State House because Yahya Jammeh called for her? You told us already about one incident that she told you about when we talked about Kanilai, but can you do you recall anything happening in relation to State House itself?
Yes, I remember when the president once, like he never called direct. It was Jimbee who called her and said that she had to go to the State House. On that day, I was with her because we had a delegation to take care of at the hotel, and she had to go that night. It was about 2 p.m. and I could see how terrible it was for her.
Sorry, was
because,
it 2 p.m.?
You know,
did you say 2 p.m.?
Around 2 p.m. Yeah, sorry, 2 a.m.
Okay, so early hours of the morning.
Yeah.
What were you doing at that time?
We were at the hotel. We had a delegation to take care of, and we were already sleeping. And I remember this was a woman who, like, we had the trust for each other, and I told her about what I was going through, and she told me what she was going through. And when the call came, she hesitated to even receive the call, because when Jimbee called you that time of the night, it's obvious she wanted you to go. She didn't want to go, but there was nothing we could do. So she left, she went, and I saw her the next day. She told me, I don't like what is happening, but I don't know what I have to do.
So from what
Especially
you
when
said,
Jammeh was the one taking care and helping her family.
So from what you've said, she didn't want to do this, or she didn't want to go, but she felt that she had no choice. Is that right?
Yes.
You mentioned Jimbee Jammeh as the person who would basically be an intermediary between protocol officers and other women and Yaya Jammeh. As far as you know, were there any other individuals who would assist Yaya Jammeh in getting women, getting girls in order to have sexual relationships with them, or to rape them, as the case may be?
Well, I know Jimbee was the number one that was doing this. And
sorry, say that again.
I know Jimbee was the one doing that, and that was my experience.
During some of your discussions with the female protocol officers, did it come out that Jimbee was always present during the encounters with Jammeh?
I think Jimbee was there until she knows everything was okay, and then she leaves.
Okay, thank you.
And what would you say was the nature of their relationship with the ex-president?
Well, some of them, Madam Counsel, it was an open secret. Let's just say some of them were special ladies to the president.
Please tell us what you mean by special ladies.
Well, because, some of them, you assign them once, twice, you don't do it for a third time. They may not tell you, but the look is that, well, I'm brought here by the president.
So you could not hold them accountable?
Sorry?
You could not hold them accountable?
Not at all.
And why was that?
Well, simply because they were all brought to me because it was an executive directive. What I mean is this. We are in the office. I'm the chief of protocol. After work, I'll go home. Some of them will come to the State House after working hours, and they will go to the president, be it in Banjul, be it in Kanilai. Sunday, public holiday, it doesn't matter.
Are you confident, or would you like to mention any of these names? I mean in terms of the facilitators, not the protected woman, from number 30 to number 32.
I would prefer not to, if you may allow me to do so.
Any one of them?
Jimbee, I can say.
Okay. And who was Jimbee? Can you give us her full name?
Jimbee Jammeh was a protocol officer. I think also a relative to former president.
Do you know how they were related?
No, really. I know that they are related, but the relationship that I don't know how it came about.
Please tell us more about the nature of their relationship, apart from them being related. How close was she to the
Very close,
ex-president?
very close. Because then, in fact, when you would want to give assignments to this protocol officer, the easiest way for me was to call her and tell her, look, I have this, arrange your girls to go and get it done. Mm-hmm.
And who were those girls?
The protocol officers.
And was it because she had a special rapport with them?
That's very true, yeah.
Do you know how she developed that rapport? What was her relationship with these girls?
Because she was the link between them and the president.
So did she actually facilitate bringing them into State House? Is that what you're saying?
That's right. That's what I'm saying, Mom.
So how many days after the president proposed marriage did you hear from either him or Jimbee or anyone else at State House?
So I did hear from Jimbee. After that happened in the last week of May, I think it was the beginning of June, Jimbee said that she wanted to show me something. Now this is after the proposal has been made. I went with Jimbee. Jimbee took me to one of the AU villas. I've never been there before. And we got off the car and she pointed out a home that we got into. The gate was open. There was a monkey in one of the trees in the home. And then she said to me something around like, this will be your home. And I said, okay. And she said, this will be your home. It's very private. And a car. And I said, okay. But he said, so why are you not happy? And I told Jimbee that I told you and I told the president I do not want to get married. I would appreciate the home. I don't have an, if you give it to me, I will take it. If you give me the car too, I will take it. But that I need to get that on the circumstance of marrying, that is not something I want to do. And for the first time, Jimbee actually, not indirectly, not pretending not to be in the know-how, said to me and asked, what is wrong with you? And she said it from in Wolof, lan mo la jot. Do you know how many people will kill to get this opportunity, right? And so she was a bit mad about that.
When the president made the marriage proposal, the evening that you were at State House, was anyone present at that time? Were Jimbee or King Papa present when the marriage proposal was made?
Jimbee had gone out earlier to get, she said she was going to do something or she had an engagement of some sort, but she came back. When that conversation about the marriage was happening, Jimbee was present. King Papa was not present.
But after that night, the first time that you had this conversation with her was when she took you on tour to see the AU villa?
After that night, yes.
So after you, after she reacted the way she did, basically asking what's wrong with you, what happened next?
She then said that Landing should take me home. And I got into the car. She got into the car that brought her back to Banjul. And for the first time again, Landing is saying something to me in regards to anything related to this scene. So Landing asked me, Yangi fine, like, are you all right? I said yes. Then Landing said to me, all I can tell you is to be very careful. Jimbee is a very powerful person at the State House. Yaya Jammeh decided to penetrate me, but before he did, he took out a needle from his pocket and he injected me on my arm. I'm not sure of what it is or what it was for. And unlike in the movies, when you're injected, you just don't fall immediately. depending on what it is that has been injected into you. Yaya Jammeh did not want sex with me or pleasure with me. What he wanted to do was to hurt me. What he wanted to do was to teach me a lesson. What he wanted to do was to manifest his ego. Just like many of us can't believe that a girl can say no, someone like Yaya Jammeh and in his position found it very disrespectful for a 19-year-old from not an elite background or not the daughter of a president to somehow gather some kind of audacity to say no to him. That he is a man probably who hasn't had so many no's. And my no wasn't because of a sense of understanding or I was better off, I wanted to. My no was just because I felt it was wrong. And I felt that it wasn't right.
Was there, after the rape incident, did anyone from State House call you?
Yes, and I think this is when I actually started to think outside of the box or to really reevaluate what this was about again. Just the sheer audacity of it all. Jimbee called me, and I wish you could see my face when I stared at that phone with so much amusement. And she said that there is an event that I'm supposed to go to. Jimbee did not talk about what last happened or to ask me how I was feeling or none of that. It was like business as usual, that nothing happened. So she just called me, hey, Nakam, and I was like, okay. And then she said there's an event that I'm supposed to go to. And I was just listening to her to explain this whole event. And she said someone is going to pick me up. This time around, she didn't say landing. She said a name that I mentioned in the report, but I'm not sure of the pronunciation of that. So, but she said that someone was coming to pick me up, and I would come to this event. And the event was not on that day. It was supposed to be on another day, but she's just letting me know in advance so I can prepare for it. When I hung up, sorry?
Sorry, you said that when she called, she acted as though nothing had happened.
Right.
From your perspective, you believe that she knew what happened.
Yes.
Why?
Jimbee Jammeh brought me into the first house in the disguise of waiting for the president. Jimbee Jammeh moved me to the second house in the disguise of still waiting for the president. When Jimbee Jammeh somehow went to get water, that is when the president walked in. Jimbee couldn't have not come back there to look for me. When it was time to go home, when I stepped outside, Jimbee was there. So there was nothing that Jimbee didn't know about. Did Jimbee know the details as to the insults and the aggression of Yaya Jammeh in the room? I don't know. Did Jimbee see me crying and clearly not wanted? Yes. Did Jimbee hear me say time and time again, I do not want the marriage, neither the home or the car, right in her presence? So none of this was Jimbee being a witness or Jimbee being a standby. Jimbee was the framer, the one who made all of this accessible to him. If she had just let me go and sit in that crowd in that night, maybe it wouldn't happen. It was premeditated by her.
You also told us that there were some of the protocol officers who would come to the residence at very late in the night at odd hours. You told us that sometimes Yaya Jammeh would ask you or one of the orderlies to call somebody. In order for the person to go to the residence. Can you tell us about that?
That used to happen. You could give instructions to say, call so and so person, connect the person, let me talk to the person.
Then
so after they have spoken, after some time, that one will call back to say, I am on my way coming, but I am coming along with so and so person. That used to happen.
Can you tell us around what time of the night this would happen?
Sometimes 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Because
while I was there, we did not have anything we call night. Every time we were there.
You said that sometimes you would call a particular individual in order to bring the person that Yaya Jammeh wanted to see, correct? Can you look at your list and tell us who are some of the individuals that you would call in order to bring people to the residence late at night?
Killing.
1.
Fula.
2. My mind can recall these two for now.
You will also notice that the same names are repeated in the second section as 30 and 31. So it's the same individuals that we're talking about. Their names are just listed twice for your information.
Yes, these two individuals, yes. And 32. He used to talk with that one.
After he spoke to the person listed as number 32, what would happen subsequently?
That one used to come there. That one used to leave from the combo end here. At that time, we were in Kanilai. And number 28. They used to come along.
So number 32 would bring number 28 to Kanilai, is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
And around what time of the night would that be?
What do you put on talang killing?
Sometimes they will arrive at 1 a.m.
What do you do talang flat?
Sometimes 2 a.m.
And would the person listed as number 2 stay, or would he leave?
Ako membu number fulanjango nyinti akatujele bang fudunga te katale
Akasijele domani akasaf baby drinks fenkola soft drinks la.
Number 2 will sit down there for something, maybe serve soft drinks. Then after that, number 2 will come out.
Number 2 or number 32?
Ako fulanjango bang futansa bani fulanjango.
Tansaba ni fulanjango ni wo sita ni tansaba ni fulanjango wo kanana nereka sije do mandireka nasi ntolbe dame.
Number 32 comes there, sit down for a while, and then come and join us where we were.
Number flow.
Number 2.
Maybe I soft drink fenko sije do mandinga fana funtina.
So number 2 will go there, serve them some soft drinks, sit there for a short while, and then also leave.
Apart from the person listed as number 28, did number 32 bring any other individuals from other countries at night?
Tansaba ni fulanjango fa modolu nati le kabubanta bankulu kambang suto asemeno nati je.
It happened, but I did not see the name of that individual on this list.
Is that individual from this country or from a different country?
Ako womari munyimbanku dinguleti bang fakabonam bantala banko leka.
Bantala bankolo
comes out of the Gambia.
Can you write the name of that individual on the same page, but with an asterisk next to that name?
Ako is first yo mari to safe no lenyin kaito bala bitun ya to safe da men ato dala ye kalata ye fenkije na taman sero kije asterisk ko tubabul kafu nyamen.
I have written it down.
You mentioned that number 1 and number 2 who are also listed as number 30 and 31 are the people that Jammeh would specifically request to bring the women to the residence. What was the role of these individuals? Or put differently, what kind of position did they hold at the time, generally speaking?
They were protocol officers.
During that time, where did they live?
They were resident here in the Combo.
Did they stay in State House or somewhere else?
They were outside. But they spend a lot of time there also.
You mentioned that sometimes they would bring some women very late at night. Are there any names on this list that you recall?
Akoye ko tumodulu ka musulu natije suto bala. For tolu be o kaito bala le bay hakilo sibula menna.
Yes.
No. Saba.
3.
Nani.
4.
Lulu.
5.
Woro.
6.
Muwani woro.
28. 26.
Aning muwani konondo.
And 29.
Have you ever interacted with person number 7 on your list?
Ako fo ni mo me yalon ko wolem woro wulan janguti kaito bala. Fo na mari ne la kudunta nyokunu le bang.
Ani manyilong.
No, I do not know this one.
For person number 6, do you recall how many times she came to the State House?
Ako woro njango nying foi hakilo samutale wen sinya jelle ke kana je aliaje
Or the residents? Kanilai.
Kanilai ala bunguto je
Ay watu ngalu ne ko nta kuntil no bara asiatale
I know that
ana watu minabi kanana ne watu nintata watu minabi janga kanana mbake
I cannot count the number, but I know that there were many.
I'm referring to instances where she would come with either person number 1 or number 2.
Akabe memawolem fo o mari animodo sina membe me yalon kolem number 1 ti foloti wala fulanjang.
Anin kilingo kanale.
She used to come with number 1.
Wati do fana anin fulanjang kana.
At other times also she would come with number 2.
So just so you're careful with that paper, maybe rest it on the table.
Akoisi hakilo to kaito to de membe laring isi abelaring tablo kanje.
So your recollection is that she came more than once.
Ila mira ro munyen ko anata jele men siata sinya kilinguti.
You told us that sometimes when they would come, you would be the one to relay the message.
Ako yenyu fuko tumodo lunibina itele fananka ikibaro futandi.
Were you at all present in the room at any point while these individuals were there?
Ni binala wala ni betara je alibele katara bungo kono je bang.
Ambele katara nimbe na nkasida me ni nata nangika ifananka si woleto.
Where we used to sit, when they arrive, they also sit there.
Then telephone wata wala nte wala modo.
Then we will pick up the telephone, either myself or another person.
Nga fire ko number kilingwani nata na aning luntango.
Then we'll pick up the telephone and inform him that number 1 has arrived with a visitor.
Wala number fulanjango natanane.
Or number 2 has arrived.
Ani model.
And other people.
So my question is, were you ever in the room? When, for instance, person number 1 would bring, number 1 or number 2 would bring any of the women to the residence?
What women at number 1, well, I'm following into wala fulanjango isi musolu nati bungo konoje.
I never got inside where they were, but we were always we were inside at the palo.
During those instances, did you at any point see any inappropriate behavior taking place during those visits?
Itelataro wiche okonoje fo ye ku korosile wale ku je me ya lonka manke ku sobeti me ya lonko asakeje
nene mawo think because mbuka futa je bida men kasi ndol kasi na saloto kasi je ban nene mbuka futa la konoto je.
I never saw that because I never got into the room. We always sit at our palo.
In your statement, you state that you would often see these people massaging the former president's feet. Is that correct?
Yeah, for what lobije ekajele nyimolu be president singolu nyabula.
Yes, that's true. It happened.
And do you recall on how many occasions you saw that?
Okay, lungo do bijeni tata wati dol to o wati dol nimbe kanilai but won tol ka jio samana nen tol leka jio samana nga jio samana rek no ngalandi teng like pano kono.
That used to happen when we are on tour or in Kanilai, but on those occasions we are the ones who normally would bring in the water. Once we bring in the water, we'll settle down.
Then ngabula jerek then number killing wala number flow.
Then we leave the water there. Then number 1 or number 2.
Waning molie aning maybe sometimes it all like yeah, thank you.
And them and these other ones I told you about, sometimes they were always together.
Sorry, can you clarify that? You said either number 1 or number 2? With some of the individuals that you've already marked on the paper, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Apart from that, did you observe anything else on those occasions?
No, I did not observe anything.
Can you sign and date the sheet of paper in front of you? As we discussed earlier, you can only tell us what you observed from the outside. And hopefully that will allow the Commission to understand what other people will testify about.